Out of all the signings that signed for over 60 million euros for Manchester United, only 1 out of 10 of them could be deemed as an absolute success, and that player is being Bruno Fernandes, their club captain. So when Man United spent £72 million on a somewhat unproven 20-year-old Danish striker who had only played 1 season in a top 5 league, football pundits, rival fans, fans of Manchester United, heck, me included, thought it was a strange and extremely risky move from Man United, and I thought that he was bought purely because of what Haaland had done with Man City. On paper, they were kind of a similar player. Outside of their names sounding similar, they were both Scandinavian, they were both quite big physically, but just 8 months later, despite all of the doubt, I can see now why exactly United was so confident in Rasmus Hojlund and his ability to deliver for Man United. And I can see why some people are starting to believe that Hojlund is Manchester United's next superstar. And that's what we will be talking about today. So what's going on, everyone? You are listening to Back of the Net here. I hope you guys are all doing well. Please be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, whether you liked the signing of Rasmus Hojlund to Man United at the time or you absolutely hated it, one thing that was widely agreed upon amongst everyone was that price tag that Man United paid to Atalanta for Hojlund was extremely high and extremely risky for Man United. Considering United's dodgy track record of high profile and expensive signings never seeming to work out for United, from Di Maria to Sancho and most recently Antony, add onto that the inexperience on Rasmus Hojlund's side and the lack of numbers to back him up, only having played 34 games for his previous club. Yes, he scored 10 goals with 2 assists, but he was still hella inexperienced. Even when you watch the tape of Hojlund, other than some decent movements and the physical profile that he possessed, we could all agree it was extremely hard to see just why United was so keen on spending what they did to get him. But as of today, call me crazy, call me reactionary, call me deluded, call me whatever you like, but I truly see a talented, skillful poacher that knows his way around the box, possesses an impressive sense for where he should be, and seems to have an elite mindset. And while Hojlund hasn't quite lived up to his price tag yet, and he's not even close to doing so, by the way, the more and more I watch this 20-year-old boy from Denmark, the more and more impressed I am with him. And every time I watch him, I keep thinking to myself, if he is developed correctly, I can most certainly see him repaying United the transfer fee and more. The first thing that sticks out to me about him, it's quite obvious about him, it's his physical profile. Standing at 6'3" and looking really big on the field, and being just 20 years old, he could still grow more, fill out his frame, add in more muscle the same way Haaland did, the same way Lewandowski or even Ronaldo has done. He has the build and all the physical tools to be a sole number 9. Not to mention the decent speed that he has to him and just the overall strength that he already possesses at his young age. Another thing I really like about him is that he has a really good sense about where to be in the box at pretty much all times. While playing with wingers like Antony and Rashford rarely prevents Hojlund from flourishing due to those wingers being either extremely selfish or just wasteful with the ball. In my eyes, Hojlund has been somewhat handicapped playing with them, but the moment that he plays with different wingers or gets given half a chance in the air or in the box, he seems to do very well to get a shot off and test the keeper. Another small impressive thing about Hojlund is that he doesn't need much space to launch a rocket into the back of the net, which again is another trait that the elite strikers around world football have. One of my favorite goals, but probably my favorite goal that Hojlund has scored for United this season, was his goal against Spurs. Now, to some people it may have just been a normal goal, Hojlund just lashing at it on his weaker foot, and it happened to find its way in the back of the net. But to me, it was so much more. Look at the goal. Surprise, surprise, Rashford didn't even look up, and Hojlund kind of just steals the ball off him. And with no space, on his weaker foot, something that we see Haaland do a lot, something that we see Lewandowski do a lot, with no space, on Hojlund's weaker foot, he smashes the ball into the back of the net against one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League to send United 1-0 up in a huge game for them at home. It was an extremely impressive goal, and I remember when I was watching the game live and I saw the goal live, I was very, very impressed. It made me wide-eyed, it made me sit back and be like, that is a really impressive goal for a young 20-year-old Danishman in a huge game with huge pressure on him. Now yes, I am praising him and it sounds like he is the perfect striker, but no, Hojlund is far from perfect. He misses a decent amount of chances, seems to have lapses of concentration at times, He isn't a great dribbler, hasn't got the perfect first touch that you would like to see a striker have, but from what I've seen, all things considered, I genuinely see a future superstar in Rasmus Hojlund. Again, he isn't perfect, but as far as a 20-year-old striker with not much elite football played in his career, he is as good as a prospect that you could ask for. Now, in 2 years' time, we could sit here and think this video is stupid because Hojlund could be an absolute flop of a sign-in, a waste of money, and just yet another huge miss by United and Ten Hag piling onto the list of failed high-profile sign-ins. But again, I just can't help but think with decent developments, I genuinely believe that Hojlund could be United's next superstar, and £72 million could look really cheap for him. I think he has all the physical tools to be a world-class striker. He has the tactical awareness, it seems anyway, to be a world-class number 9. He just needs to put it all together, be developed correctly, and I have no doubt that, like with Nunez from Liverpool to be fair, that these guys genuinely have all the potential to be a world-class number 9.